What is going on everyone, Mr. Natfav here coming at you with yet another explaining Digimon episode. This video is going to be very exciting, a video made thanks to a comment of a nice someone named Corey Templeton asking me this very question. Are you going to continue with the Digimon videos? Maybe on the other original 2-team Digimon? Yes my friend, I will make the video for you and all of those who are interested. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting Digimon called GABUMON. Let's get into it. This video will be a sort of special video because I already talked about AGUMON, and everyone knows that AGUMON and GABUMON are sort of like Goku and Vegeta. In Digimon Season 1 there always was this sort of competition between both Digimons, and in the video about AGUMON I did say that I normally wouldn't include fusions until we come to the proper video. Well, I was waiting for GABUMON actually. I will only briefly mention the fusion and talk about it in a separate video. But I am sure that what I'm going to tell you in this video will end up shocking you, so let's dive into it. Our dear GABUMON is actually a reptile Digimon, meaning that its genes would high probably take it back to the huge dinosaurs, who are ancestor creatures of reptiles. It's a bit funny, in my youth I always thought that GABUMON was more like a polar bear kind of Digimon, because its fur is blue, which reminded me of snow, and after all it has an attack called Blue Blasters, where it releases a stream of blue ice-like flames from its mouth, which only enforced my thoughts about it. But no, GABUMON is a reptile Digimon, and if you look carefully underneath its pelt, GABUMON does share some similarities in appearance with AGUMON. It has a yellow skin, has claws, though I have to say that both Digimons are quite different on numerous aspects, so maybe comparing them isn't really doing them justice. For instance, GABUMON is extremely timid and shy. It doesn't have this rather violent nature. That's why it developed in a completely different way than AGUMON. And that fur it is wearing is actually the data which Garurumon leaves behind, shaped into a fur pelt to wear. That's very interesting. GABUMON somehow found a way to gather whatever data Garurumon left behind and shape it into a fur. And because it is wearing the fur pelt of Garurumon, a Digimon feared by other Digimons by the way, it fills the role of safeguarding itself as a result of protecting its body. When GABUMON wears the pelt, its personality does a complete 180-degree shift. And knowing that is actually very interesting because in the video about Veemon's Armored Digivolution, I explained that digivolving into a champion isn't at all easy. I guess that some Digimons can spend an entire life without going further. I am more than convinced that not all GABUMONs have developed the ability to convert Garurumon's data into a fur, and I can't stop myself from thinking that the fur plays an immense role in the existence of GABUMONs, because the Digimon world is truly not a world you can make fun of. Everywhere you go you have chances to get killed by Digimons with abilities to summon lightning, to grow nuclear weapons. GABUMON's fur gives it the confidence to face other dangerous Digimons. The best way to survive in that world is to attack. The best defense in that world is actually the offensive. If a GABUMON isn't capable of being confident enough in its combat abilities, it would only be at the mercy of other Digimons. There is a little thing I might have forgotten to tell you. I am always very curious at the names given to Digimons, as they've always had a meaning. The Gabu in GABUMON is derived from a kabuki puppet named Gabu Kashira, a puppet whose face instantly changes from that of a timid maiden to a horned fiend with the pull of a string, which perfectly fits GABUMON as it is a timid Digimon that has the potential to become scary and dangerous. And by the way, speaking of kabuki theater, I did mention this Japanese theater in the videos talking about the armored Digivolutions like the one of Veemon. Maybe you should check them out, you'll find them in the Digimon playlist. As always, I've always been very interested in the genes of Digimons, because those genes are ultimately responsible for the way a Digimon evolves. GABUMON belongs to the Nature Spirits family. Members of this field are generic animal or monster-like Digimon. It also belongs to the Metal Empire family. Members of this field are generally mechanical or mutated Digimon. And in the course of the video, you will understand how this particular metal gene affects GABUMON. But I have to say there is one side of GABUMON's genes that gave me some question marks. GABUMON also belongs to the Virus Busters family. Members of this field are generally sacred or angelic Digimons. Why it belongs to this family is a huge mystery, but maybe we will understand it by going to its next form, which is Garurumon, an animal Digimon covered in blue-white fur as hard as mithril, a legendary rare metal also found in the world of the Lord of the Rings. GABUMON possesses a furious combat instinct and resides only in freezing lands. It has a carnivore-like agility and the accuracy to reliably bring down its targets, which is why it is feared by other Digimons. The Garuru in GABUMON is the onomatopoeia for a wolf's growl. Just like GABUMON, it also belongs to the Metal Empire, the Virus Busters, and the Nature Spirits family. But it also belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family. Members of this field are generally demonic or undead Digimon. Belonging to the Nightmare Soldiers family made me wonder why GABUMON doesn't look demonic, like for instance Digimon, which I discussed in the Patamon video. I think that the answer is quite clear. GABUMON has a mixture of many families in its genes, meaning that the Dark Nightmare Soldiers gene would only have a small 25% of influence in either GABUMON or its next form. But you cannot forget that this particular gene only came to be when GABUMON evolved into GABUMON, meaning that the gene's representation would high probably be lower than those 25%. That's why I believe that the next form do not really look demonic. But still, we're going to take a look at the next form to maybe find the smallest influence it might have had. The next form would be WereGABUMON, an animal Digimon derived from the werewolf, which is a creature with the ability to shapeshift into a wolf-human hybrid either purposely or after being placed under a curse. WereGABUMON became able to walk on two legs, though it lost its speed due to becoming bipedal, but it has extreme jumping abilities inherited from GABUMON, a true commando type it has become. As a Shadow WereGABUMON, it has stronger offensive and defensive power as well as a developed tactical nature. I think that this Digimon is particularly interesting because we now can speculate why it belongs not only to the Nature Spirits and Metal Empire family but also the Nightmare Soldiers family. What is it that makes this Digimon a somewhat dark and demonic creature? By looking at its appearance, I might say that the skull head on its genes might be a hint. A skull head is always associated with death, without forgetting that numerous dark Digimons have a similar symbol somewhere on them. But still, I don't think that that's what makes it belong to the Nightmare Soldiers group. And so I kept digging, and in the end I found something extremely interesting. It is said that WereGABUMON is rich with loyalty and has a reliable nature, faithfully executing its mission if its master gives it an order. And that information alone is already subliminally dark without you even understanding. Let me explain. WereGABUMON is faithful to its master, of course. And when you look at the anime, you're going to associate the master to someone good, to someone with good intentions, but that's not the point. The point is that WereGABUMON is loyal to its master, doesn't matter the intentions, meaning that if WereGABUMON would be commanded by, let's say, a Myotismon, a Digimon that has dark intentions, then nothing would stop WereGABUMON from doing what its master demands. Don't forget, I told you that this Digimon belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family, the Metal Empire, and the Nature Spirits family. It lost the Virus Buster gene, meaning that it actually is more dark than holy. Knowing this is what definitely would make WereGABUMON a kind of darker Digimon, because in the end, if you compare the war in the Digimon world to the wars here on Earth, it's hard to differentiate bad from good. Every camp is going to claim that they are in the right, in the light, while the attackers would high probably be seen as bad. But one thing is sure, the death symbol on his genes should be seen as a sort of warning. WereGABUMON could fight at the side of light, but nothing would really stop it to fight at the darker side either. When it comes to the mega forms of GABUMON, it sure does make me very excited because there are many variations, and some are even difficult to place in the Digivolution line. But I'll begin with the most known mega form of GABUMON called Metal GABUMON, an android Digimon. It powered itself up by metallizing almost its entire body, which is obviously due to the Metal Empire genes from GABUMON. Metal GABUMON has countless weapons concealed through its body, whose number is rivaled by those of Mega Gargomon, the high temperature counterpart to the low temperature Metal GABUMON, and a Digimon we're definitely going to analyze in another video because a lot can be said about it. Metal GABUMON has an arsenal of weapons at its disposal. It radiates invisible lasers from the 4 laser sights on its snout, and because it is able to analyze the targets before using all of its sensors, such as infrared rays and X-rays, it is impossible to escape Metal GABUMON even when among the darkness outside of its field of vision. It has also a flight ability, making the Digimon a threat on land and in the sky. When Metal Garurumon fuses with War Greymon, it becomes Omnimon, a warrior Digimon and one of the Royal Knights. Another member of that team that I mentioned before is All-Force Vidramon. But my friends, Omnimon will definitely get a separate video because there is a lot that can be said about it. There are a lot of Omnimon variations, so we're going to make it a separate video and we're going to discuss it together with other members of the Royal Knights. Metal Garurumon has also other subspecies like Crest Garurumon, a Beast Knight Digimon taking on a humanoid form. Its armor is made out of the golden Chrome Digizoid that deflects attacks. It is a Digimon that excels in swordplay using the Yellow Beast's Crescent's blade. The crest from Crest Garurumon is actually derived from the Green Dragon Crescent Blade, a legendary weapon wielded by the Chinese general Guan Yu in the 14th century historical novel called Romance of the Three Kingdoms. How this Digimon came to be is a huge mystery, but considering that its body is covered in metal, I assume that it high probably evolved from a Were Garurumon, as both of them are humanoid creatures. I think that a Were Garurumon that excels in close range battles, gaining a lot of experience, will end up digivolving into Crest Garurumon, as it is yet another Digimon that relies on a close range approach in battle, unlike Metal Garurumon that specializes in distanced fighting. But I am only speculating, there might be many different reasons to explain how Crest Garurumon came to be. Metal Garurumon has yet another variant called Zed Garurumon, a tank Digimon equipped with the ultimate Super Dreadnought class weapon on its back. Its weapons and ammunition are equipped throughout its body, that way its physical strength isn't consumed. It can also sustain a rain of bullets for a long duration. It obviously gains certain advantages over Metal Garurumon, but what's most interesting about it would be how it came to be. Zed Garurumon possesses an evolutionary code that differs from Digimon that were naturally born in a digital world, and it is thought that it is a Digimon that digivolved from a Digi-Egg that was produced due to artificial data intervention, meaning that Zed Garurumon might be an error, an unnatural Digimon that wasn't meant to be, but due to some circumstances it found a way to evolve. That's why you probably won't see many Zed Garurumons around. Mega level Digimons are obviously more scarce than all Digimons underneath that level, but Digimons like Zed Garurumon will be very scarce. Which reminds me of Chimeramon in the GAZIMON video, a Digimon that also wasn't meant to be but simply was there. In the ancient digital world, there used to be a Digimon called Ancient Garurumon, yet another very mysterious Digimon, because we don't know how it came to be. Maybe it evolved from a Were Garurumon from that period, maybe not. One thing is sure, it is the strongest among the Garurumon species, belonging to the group of the 10 legendary warriors that saved the ancient digital world from a big war. And that war will be discussed in another video. Its abilities were later passed on to the Beast Digimons in the new digital world, which means that Ancient Garurumon is sort of like an ancestor of those Beast Digimons. In the video about Tentomon's Digivolution line, I mentioned a Digimon named Ancient Beetlemon, another member of the 10 legendary warriors. In the AGUMON video, I mentioned Ancient Greymon, so we already have 3 of the 10 legendary warriors. We will definitely explore what they did in the Digimon world, and we're also going to compare that team to the many other teams in Digimon, because I already mentioned a bunch of very powerful teams. Think of the Crack team, the 7 Demon Lord Digimons, the Olympus 12. I can't wait to study them and compare all of them. Before bringing the video to a close, I'd like to tell you that GABUMON has 2 other variants. I will start with Black GABUMON, a Digimon that I will explain briefly, because there really isn't a huge difference with GABUMON. But to understand Black GABUMON, I'd have to bring you back to the form before, a form called Tsunomon. Depending on how this little Digimon behaves and develops, it might change in attribute once it digivolves, bringing forth a variant of the Digimon you'd normally expect. Let me explain. Most Digimon species are classified into 5 attributes: data, vaccine, virus, free, and variable. The first 3 attributes serve to classify the personalities of the Digimon. A vaccine Digimon tend to be a crusader with a great determination to fight against evil and stop injustice. The virus Digimon tend to be violent, with a thirst for power and domination. Digimons with a data attribute, on the other hand, are usually neutral and focus on their own issues. The attribute variable is exclusive to hybrid Digimons, and the attribute free is an attribute that is extremely rare and its signification is unknown, but I assume that it's all about the free will of the Digimon, the will to choose what personality it wants to have. Some Digimons either have a combination of attributes, some have their attributes unidentified, or lack them entirely. Depending on those attributes, a Digimon will develop a particular personality that won't necessarily be the same as other Digimons, because some Digimons act solely on their primitive instincts and don't have a moral compass, while others might have a consciousness, I guess, but could still align themselves with evil. So those attributes have a major influence on how a Digimon will behave and how it will see itself. Tsunomon, the prior form of Gabumon, has 3 attributes: data, free, and a lacking attribute which is simply named neutral or none. As I explained, the attribute data will make of Tsunomon a Digimon that focuses on its own issues. But there's still the attribute free, meaning that it can choose if it minds its own business or if it meddles in other Digimon's business. Gabumon has 2 attributes: data, meaning that it is very self-centered, and vaccine, meaning that it has a will to fight evil. Black Gabumon, on the other hand, has only 1 attribute: virus, making it a violent Digimon with a thirst for power and domination, the complete opposite of Gabumon. That's why I believe that the personality of its Tsunemon and its free will is what will ultimately define its next form, and you could actually relate Black Gatomon, which I mentioned before, and Black Agumon, which I also explained before. Those 2 Digimons high probably also have the attribute virus. Black Gabumon is pretty different as it doesn't have the same attacks and personality as Gabumon. Its Digivolution, Black Garurumon, is also very different than Garurumon. And when Black Garurumon digivolves further, it will digivolve into Shadow Were Garurumon, and after it, Black Metal Garurumon, the Cyber Digimon that pretty much has the same skill set as Metal Garurumon, except that it is capable of attacking even friends with its missiles. By the way, I need to explain a small thing about Shadow Were Garurumon. In the sources I used, it is written that Shadow Were Garurumon can further digivolve into Bancho Leomon, a very powerful Digimon belonging to the Bancho team. As I explained in the Explaining GAZIMON video, GAZIMON has also a Digivolution line that brings it to Shadow Were Garurumon, and in that video I said that if Shadow Were Garurumon trains and gets stronger and stronger, that it would exceptionally digivolve into Bancho Leomon. Well, I have to correct myself. I have been sort of misled by those sources because they aren't always right. I think that the reason why the sources tell us that Shadow Were Garurumon could possibly digivolve into Bancho Leomon is not because it really could, but probably because Shadow Were Garurumon has the potential to reach the Bancho title. Bancho is in fact a title given to Digimons that continue to emerge victorious in battles with fierce champions without their spirit being broken. Only 5 Digimons were able to reach the level of Bancho, and they formed a team that I will discuss in another video. A stereotypical Were Garurumon would simply evolve into either Metal Garurumon or Crest Garurumon or these other variants depending on circumstances. Shadow Were Garurumon will probably simply evolve into Black Metal Garurumon, because its spirit, well, it isn't necessarily broken, but the Digimon is simply too unstable, which is why it never received the Bancho title in the first place. We are almost at the end of the video. We're going to discuss the last variant of Gabumon, a variant called Psyche Moon. While this Digimon looks a bit more cute than the other 2 Gabumon variants, at least if you consider its pink color, I have to say that this Digimon belongs to the most dangerous ever. What I'm going to tell you is insane, but if this Digimon isn't contained in some form or not, it's better to get rid of it. You have to get rid of it because sooner or later, it will get rid of you. The reason why I said that Psychemon is a very dangerous Digimon is because, for starters, it is way too mysterious. Nothing is known about it and how it came to be. Nothing is written about why it has these colors. When I looked at the family it belongs to, it only belongs to the nature spirits. It only belongs to the Metal Empire or even the virus busters like Gabumon. No, only the nature spirits, which is already strange because in what will it further digivolve to? That's the question. When you take a look at the attribute, it only says data, meaning that it only focuses on its own issues, so we don't have a lot of information. Now, when I analyzed its name, That's when things sort of make sense. Psychemon is a name derived from psychedelia, which is a subculture originating in the 1960s, a group of people who often use psychedelic drugs such as LSD or mescaline. A psychedelic experience or psychedelic states are an array of experiences including changes of perception such as hallucinations, altered states of awareness, trance, and other mind alterations. It might sound strange, but I think that Psychemon somehow got drugged or something. Or maybe it has become a Digimon manifestation of the psychedelia culture. And now, why did I say that you'd much rather get rid of it? Psychemon is the only Digimon I know that doesn't have a champion form. When it digivolves, it immediately jumps into the ultimate form, and when it attains that form, you are in for a whole lot of troubles. Its ultimate form is called Astamon, the Prince of the Dark Area, with a name derived from Astaroth. In demonology, Astaroth is the Great Duke of Hell in the first hierarchy and is part of the Evil Trinity. Astamon is Demon Man Digimon. Even though it is an Ultimate Digimon, surprisingly it possesses power surpassing that of a Mega level Digimon, which is truly unheard of. As a prince, it commands a legion of demon Digimons, so in order to face it, you'd probably have to go through many of its minions whose powers isn't really determined. Astamon shows cruelty to its enemies and kindness to its friends, and because of that charisma, it is expected to gain a considerable number of followers among demon Digimons. That's why I said that you'd have to be careful with Psychemon. Astamon, its ultimate form, not only displays immense power but has the charisma to unite demons to do its biddings. And when you are united, you are in fact stronger. And I'm not even done. Astamon has a machine gun called Orosalmon. The bullets, far from it, possesses their own will, so they will chase the opponent to the end of hell. This very powerful and very dangerous machine gun was forged by the same Digimon that forged the guns of Beelzemon. Those weapons are the work of Volcanusmon, the god of smithery, member of the Olympus 12. You know what this means, my friends? It means that a god is making weapons for demons. Which really makes me wonder if those gods are very trustworthy, because in the MACHINEDRAMON video, I mentioned another god member of the Olympus 12 that, well, is sort of being used to kill a bunch of Digimons. I really have to analyze the Olympus 12 groups because I only mentioned two members and both of them are responsible for a great deal of trouble that will kill many Digimons. Despite the fact that Astamon is an ultimate Digimon with the power of a Mega, it can further digivolve into Belphimon Sleep Mode. It sure looks cute as it is small and doesn't look like it's going to be much of a threat, but this Digimon is one that has the potential to end life as we speak. Just take a look at the name. Belphimon is a name derived from Belphegor. In demonology, Belphegor is a demon and one of the 7 princes of hell, meaning that Belphimon belongs to the group of the 7 demon lord Digimons, representing Mars and the sin of sloth. On top of that, Belphimon is a Digimon derived from the second beast of Revelations, a beast in opposition to God. It is said that Belphimon's strength is too immense that its data have been put in a sleep state by the digital world system, although the truth of the matter is unconfirmed. It is said to be sealed in the deepest part of the dark area, a jet-black abyssal graveyard of deleted data full of evil energies. As has been told, Belphimon awakens from its eternal slumber once in 1,000 years. When it awakens, it regains its natural shape and changes into an incarnation of rage. Anything that enters its field of vision becomes a target for destruction. Simply by suffering Belphimon's roar, Ultimate Digimons and below will have their data disintegrated and will instantly die, and not even Mega Digimons can escape unharmed. I won't say much about Belphimon anymore, because at this point I already talked about 5 of the 7 Demon Lords, and the moment I mention all 7 I will make a special video talking about why these Digimons are so dark and why they are so feared, and also why the 10 Royal Knights are trying to do what they can to destroy them. As I said, Digimon has many teams, either good or bad, and the way I see it, you can't even trust the angels nor the Olympic gods anymore. How will the Force of Light, win over this. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. I thank you all for listening. I talked about the many variants of Metal GABUMON, but I want to tell you that there are more variants that I will mention in other videos, so you'll have to be a bit patient. But in the end, I don't really understand how people find Pokemon much better. You are of course entitled to your own opinion, and everyone has their preferences, and of course I respect that, but I simply love the darkness. Anyway, for those who are new, you can always go to the playlist of Digimon Conversations. Every video I made about Digimon is in that playlist, that way you can catch up on newer and older videos. I also talk about life, love, games, movies, and even play video games. Every video is in a particular playlist, just go and check them out.